Hi, my name is Tyler Hilton, and I did my case study on Comair Flight 3272. So let's just start with a little background here. The date is Thursday, January 9th, 1997. The aircraft is an Embraer EMB 120 Brasilia. The flight began from Siena, Kentucky International Airport and was supposed to land at Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. In total, the plane had 2 pilots, 1 flight attendant, and 26 passengers on the plane, which total up to 29 people. The captain of that flight was Dan Carlson, age 42, and was in command of Flight 3272 at the time of the crash. This continues the background. And the first officer was Kenneth Reese, 29, who was second in command of the aircraft, but was the pilot in command of the flight when it crashed. So what happened? Both pilots were on approach to Detroit Michelin County Airport. As they were on approach, air traffic control instructed the pilots to descend to 4,000 feet and turn right heading of 180 degrees. The pilots do this with no problem and no notice of icing. About 45 seconds later, the pilots were instructed to turn left onto a heading of 90 degrees and intercept the localizer. During this turn, however, the aircraft abruptly stalled and the pilots lost control. In conclusion, the plane crashed in a rural field in Rainsville Township in Monroe County, killing all 29 aboard. This right here, I have the crash timeline with a little picture of what happened. The flight departed from Conington, Kentucky about 1:50 o'clock. Less than an hour in, they start to descend to Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport, Detroit, Michigan. At this time, the air traffic controller instructs them to descend to 4,000 feet and turn right heading on 180 degrees. About 45 seconds later, the pilots were instructed to turn left and onto a heading of 90 degrees and intercept the localizer. During this turn, however, the aircraft abruptly stalled and the pilots lost control and crashed into a rural field in Rainsville Township in Monroe County, killing all 29 aboard, as I said in the previous slide. Why did this happen? The NTSB found that it was icing conditions that caused the plane to stall mid-flight and crash into the ground. The pilots did not know that the plane was experiencing icing conditions until it was too late. At the time, the FAA didn't have proper guidelines to icing conditions for their specific aircraft. Now, I did this interview with Kevin Smith. He's very well-weathered pilot and expert in the field. My first question was, how do you determine if there's icing conditions on your plane if you can't see it? And my second question was, how do you deal with icing conditions when you can see the ice with no anti-icing equipment? And Kevin answered both of these questions with, if you feel loss of lift and see the loss of lift on your altimeter, then you must immediately fly out of the area of suspecting icing, if this is possible. If not, then you're out of luck. The aftermath of the accident. The NTSB ruled that the FAA should have more regulations on planes encountering icing and how to deal with it. The NTSB board also found that FAA didn't ensure the airlines use the proper procedures when planes fly through drizzle and freezing rain, which adheres to the wings, causing them to lose lift. In addition, the NTSB said that FAA failed to determine minimum speeds for airliners flying through icy conditions. And these are my references. Thank you. This has been my case study on Comair Flight 3272.